Hello, vinyl community. We are listening to Derek Higgins' new release, 02020, or 02020, however you want to say it. This is my second listen now, and I am loving it. Definitely check out Derek Higgins' music. It kind of ranges a variety of sounds, but it tends to fall under the sort of downbeat or ambient house genres. Yeah, another great release from Mr. Derek Higgins, and I love the packaging on this. It's like a mini gatefold. The CD comes out there, and features his collage work, and then a photo by Benjamin Baldwin. Anyway, very good. Available on Bandcamp. Definitely check it out. You can either download it or buy the CD version. Highly recommended. Absolutely love it. Alright, so I do have records to show, just a couple, but I'm pretty happy with them. Yeah, I was on the hunt for a Charlie Parker record on eBay. Not a specific record, just Charlie Parker. Trying to beef up my my pathetic Charlie Parker collection. I have a bunch of Chet Baker on vinyl, and yeah, Charlie Parker being my second favorite jazz musician after Chet Baker. It's pretty sad. I'm pretty sure I only have one record by Charlie Parker, and that was a huge find. That was a 25-cent purchase at Salvation Army years and years ago. But I was like blown away. But that's the only, I'm pretty sure that's the only one in my collection. So I was on the hunt, and so I found something at a good price. Put it in my cart, and I figured, well, I'll see what else the seller has on the cheap. And I happened upon this. Definitely not jazz. So this is Michelle Chamuel, Face the Fire. Yeah. So for those that don't know, she was a contestant on The Voice, and she was the runner-up on season 4, beat out by Danielle Bradbury. Basically, Michelle Chamuel, at least her solo stuff falls under sort of the dance pop, and even dabbling a little bit into dance rock. I have to say, I really enjoyed this record. It was very, very good. In particular, I liked Weight of the World. That one, that's the one that dabbles a little bit into more dance rock. Most of the other songs are pop, dance pop. But a very, very enjoyable listen. Excellent production values. I was very, very impressed. The sleeve is a little on the flimsy side. I'm not sure if this is her own label. The End Records. Their tiny little logo, The End Records. But the sleeve is a little on the flimsy side. Yeah, loving that. It does have a nice, sturdy inner sleeve, though. So that was nice. With lyrics and custom labels on black vinyl. Absolutely no complaints about this. I think it ended up being like seven, or with shipping, I think it was about $9. So, very pleased with that. I do recommend it. If you enjoy pop music or dance pop, very, very enjoyable listen. This next track that's about to start, I'm going to turn it up a little bit because I love this one. It's kind of almost an interlude. Very, let's get Derek back up here. Very abstract electronic, and this is totally my kind of thing. So I really like this track. Yeah, it's fairly short, as you know, an interlude would be. I'm assuming he intended it as a sort of interlude. I think it's roughly about halfway through the album. The start of this video was not the start of the album, just so you know. Yeah, I love this kind of thing, and I actually have an internet radio station called abstractradio.com, and I have some of Derek's abstract electronic music on there. I love this sort of thing. With abstract music, abstract electronic, it keeps your mind active, because when you listen to music, your mind is naturally trying to find something to latch onto. So with abstract music, it's difficult, if not impossible, for your brain to latch onto something, a melody or something like that, or rhythm. So it keeps your mind active as you're desperately trying to find that thing to latch onto. So yeah, very, very good. Very good. All right, so now I mentioned Charlie Parker, so I'm not going to disappoint. Admittedly, after reading about this album, specifically a soundtrack, I was a little disappointed. So, it is Bird. Fantastic movie. Produced and directed by Clint Eastwood, who apparently, in his teens, let's see, where was it? It says, as a teenager, he played ragtime and blues piano in Oakland clubs. I had no idea that Clint Eastwood is or was a musician. So, yeah, so I absolutely adore the movie. It's definitely in my top 10. Absolutely brilliant. But the soundtrack, I assumed. I love that minimalist gatefold there. I assumed that they basically just used recordings of Charlie Parker and, made the movie around those recordings. However, that is not the case. So, while I would not consider this a Charlie Parker album by any means. It is a pretty amazing technical achievement. So basically what they did, they took Charlie Parker's solos and isolated them, removed everything else, background noise, other instruments, and so on. So they completely isolated his solos, and then performed music around those recordings with modern day musicians, obviously. One of which, Ray Brown, on bass, did actually perform with Charlie Parker. So, but, you know, it's disappointing to learn that, you know, these are not genuine recordings. They basically pulled out Charlie Parker's solos, recorded modern, well, I shouldn't say modern music, but recorded around those solos, and some of his non-solo parts were filled in by Charles McPherson. So some of the parts where Charlie Parker would be playing in more of an ensemble role, those were not actually him. So that's kind of where the disappointment comes in, as well as the fact that they're not original recordings. But obviously those solos are taken from original recordings. Anyway, nevertheless, it sounds great. I think one reason they did go through all that effort is because I had no idea that Charlie Parker predated stereo. So, yeah, so they wanted stereo recordings, and then obviously higher quality, because a lot of his recordings that we have are basically lower quality mono, obviously. And no, I'm not saying that mono is lower quality. You know what I mean. Anyway, so, yeah. Oh, by the way, it's on blue vinyl. Yes, let's show you that. So, transparent blue vinyl on Columbia. Yeah, that was a nice little surprise. Now, my one complaint about this is on the opening track in particular, Lester Leaps In. The crowd noise, which is crowd noise that was made for the movie, it really kind of overwhelms the music a little bit. And you know, I understand why. You know, they were trying to you know, give you the sense of a live performance, but listening to a record, you don't want that. So it would have been better if they either toned the crowd noise way down or just removed it. Because honestly, it really ruined the experience for me. And the crowd noise does appear on a few tracks. Fortunately, it did not appear on one of his all-time greatest songs, Now's the Time. I love that one. So that was a good one. But again, you know, these aren't original recordings, which again is disappointing, but I am a huge fan of the movie, and just for that reason alone, I'm glad I picked this up. Again, this was like $7 plus a couple bucks shared shipping, since they shipped together. I think it was about $4 shipping. So We're talking like $18 for 2 records. So I'm pretty happy. I'm pretty happy. But yes. Ooh, sorry about that. Yes. So again, we are listening to, and I love this one. It's one of the sort of more atmospheric tracks. I hope everybody's doing well. Be sure and support independent music, whether it's Derek Higgins or any number of other artists, many of which are in the vinyl community. So if in someone's video they mentioned that, you know, they released music or whatever, please go support them. Support independent music, because honestly, the best music out there being made is not on the major labels. So, yeah. Support independent music. Anyway, great job, Derek. Love, love, love this. Thank you so much for all the music you make. Keep it coming. And can't leave without a little bit of a cheers. Everybody be vigilant as the owl about this coronavirus. I hope everybody's doing well. Cheers. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.